In this video, I'll be going over how to deploy Komodo on a Synology NAS. I currently have 3 separate Docker hosts that I want to manage from one user interface. My plan is to build a CI/CD pipeline to version control my Docker deployments and simplify management. To lay down that groundwork, I'm starting with Komodo, which provides an intuitive interface, robust features for both managing Docker and the server behind it. A key feature is it can manage multiple Docker environments on different hosts through installing Komodo's Periphery service. This service can be deployed as a container or as a system-managed process. Before we begin, there are some things to note. I'm using a DS918 Plus with DSM version 7.1.1-42962 Update 9. The version of Docker on this NAS is 20.10.3. I'll also include all the files used in this video in my GitHub. Link will be in the description. There's also an assumption that you have a reverse proxy with the ability to issue certificates. In my case, I'm using Traffic. For Docker, we'll need to deploy Komodo's core and periphery service. We will also need a database. MongoDB is the preferred choice when running Komodo. However, some systems cannot run the latest version. I fall into the latter, so my Synology NAS does not support it. I will use the alternative, which is FerretDB. Let's jump into the CLI for my Synology NAS. In my version of DSM, I don't have the ability to use compose files through the UI. You'll need to SSH into the IP of your Synology NAS as an admin. Typically, this is what you use to get into the DSM web interface. So you'll want to navigate to the directory where your Docker files are. For me, it's in the volume 1, Docker. And then you'll want to make a directory here for Komodo. And cd into it. Now let's make a compose file, and I'm going to paste the contents for my repo. This compose file will deploy Postgres, FerretDB, Komodo's core, and periphery service. You'll want to edit the Docker networks to ensure all the containers are using the same one so that they may reach each other. Additionally, if you're using Traffic, be sure to include the external traffic network on your core service. Also, you'll need to amend the traffic config for your specific hostname or enable the use of your preferred reverse proxy. Lastly, in the periphery service, map the directory you created to etc Komodo. So let's save this and make an environment file. I'll also be copying and pasting the contents from my repo. You may get this message about it's too much. Go ahead and paste anyway. And we'll let that complete. So for production, make sure you edit the DB credentials and all of the secret fields to something more secure. I'll be using the defaults for this example. There's also Komodo's host parameter where you can set the hostname for OAuth and webhook configurations. You can also edit the first server name variable, which will name your NAS in the Komodo web interface. Let's go ahead and save this file. Now we can deploy all of our containers and wait for it all to come up. Give this a fair amount of time to complete. I'll skip ahead to when my deployment is ready. Keep in mind that I won't be doing anything additional during this gap, just waiting. After some time, let's take a look at the containers. We can see that they're all up and healthy. Let's go over to our web browser and go to the hostname URL that we listed. Seem to be getting a gateway timeout. I'm going to go ahead and restart the core service. And we'll just wait for that to complete. Okay, now let's take a look at the status again. It says it's up 5 seconds ago, which is great. Let's go back to the browser and refresh our session. There we go. Based on the environment variables we set, we can enter a username and password we want and click sign up. This will only work one time. Your NAS should show up in the server section. This is from the declarations in the environment variables that we made. There's a chance that it shows disconnected like mine does here. You can correct this by inputting under the address section, https periphery, which is the name of the service in the compose file, :8120, which is the port that the periphery service is listening on. Let's hit save. And there we go, it's connected now. A word of advice, if you don't like the name you selected, don't just change it here. You have to amend it in the environment file too. If you ever rerun the compose file and the names don't match, it won't connect. At least that's been my experience. So if you attempt to amend it here and change this, you'll want to change it in the environment file and rerun the setup. Now I want to add my Docker Lab environment. First thing we need to do is make an onboarding key. So let's go to Settings, Onboarding, New Onboarding Key. We can name it. I'm just going to call it Key. And I'm going to put expiration time of 1 day. You'll want to copy this and put it somewhere secure. Jumping over to my lab now, you'll want to make sure that you're logged in as root or have escalated to root. I've since done that. And you'll want to paste in the periphery setup that you can get from my GitHub repo. I'll be running periphery as a system process. I'll be pasting in this curl command. Make sure to edit the core address to reflect your environment and input your onboarding key. I suggest doing this in a text editor first before pasting in for simplicity. You can also specify what to call this server. It's configured to just pull your hostname and transmit that, or you can elect to hardcode whatever name like I did. Let's hit enter and this will complete pretty quickly. Now we can check if the status of the periphery service we can see that it's active. Now we want to make sure that we enable this service to run at startup in case this server were to reboot. Okay, that's done. Now let's go back to Komodo and you should see it appear under the Servers tab and you can see all the containers within it. So here it is, Docker Lab. And we can see all the containers running within that lab environment. If you need to add more Docker hosts or servers, simply repeat the curl command from that server CLI and make sure your onboarding key is still active. I hope you found this video helpful. This is just part 1 of a series. In my next video, I'll be going over some key features and deploy Git through the Komodo Stacks functionality. I will also be integrating the two services to enable some key features in supporting a Docker environment. Thank you for watching.